if I come to work and greet you, Elizabeth, good morning, sit in my workstation, do my job and go home, and everybody does that, who is going to talk to each other?
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. Today we're going to be having a very beautiful topic. And the topic is, do quiet employees get less recognized than the loud ones? With me, I have
Rose of Omiata.
Okay, and
Andrew Lavla.
Yes, so we're going to hear their views today. Sit tight because this topic is a very, very interesting one. So let's hear your views. What do you think? Are quiet people, introverts in the workspace, do they get less recognized because of their personality, because of who they are? What do you think?
Yes, I think so. In an organization, if you don't speak out sometimes, at the organizational level, you sometimes be left out. So it's always advisable that you speak up and let people know. And there are different ways whereby you speak up, not just making noise and, there's a difference between making noise and actually speaking up in an organization. So, to answer your question, people who are introvert and who do not speak, loud enough really get, sometimes they go unnoticed. People don't even notice them. And sometimes even the extrovert and the ones who are loud don't really get the job done, don't really know what to do, don't really have an idea or knowledge about it. But the fact that they are outspoken, they are everywhere, they get recognized easily. For example, the MD can just know that this girl always talks during management meeting. Not necessarily adding anything, but in his quiet time and identity, their name will ring in their head. And there is you who can do the job, but you just stay in one corner or another. So sometimes when bonuses come, or maybe the MDs or maybe head of the COO or any senior level manager is teaching the entire organization, they are bound or not bound, they are most likely going to use that noisemaker's name because that's to make an example or illustration because that's the person they can remember. So it's always advisable in an organization, try as much as you can to get notice. It could be just in a meeting, they say, oh, do you have any recommendation? Do you have any contribution? Do you have any observation? Not necessarily making noise like that. So by the time you do that often or you ask questions, you seek clarification, you do one of these things in a broader gathering, people will start noticing you for not the bad things, but the good things. So if you don't speak, you're most likely not going to get noticed.
Okay, thank you very much. Andrew, what do you think?
Well, I think Rose has cleared the air, but if I had spoken before her, I wouldn't have gone the same because I do think that I think roles matter in this regard because I think there are certain roles within an organizational system that you don't necessarily have to do a lot of speaking out. And I'm saying that from experience though. I've seen quite a number of back-end engineers or front-end engineers don't really do a lot of talking and they still go far in their career. But hanging it on what Rose said, true. Speaking up doesn't necessarily mean being loud or just saying nothing. You could also speak up in other ways. You could do a mail. You could be known. I'm not the institution where somebody is known for how she sends her emails. It's after we have like all rounders or stand-ups and as it is, HR requests that she be the person to send the mail. That was not her role initially, but because they just like how she does her emails, she became noticed like that. So I really think that being noticeable or being loud, I do feel it could be role specific. But then again, I think that we are in the corporate space is one such that it rewards people that are visible. So I mean, not necessarily loud, but visible. It's good to be seen. It's good to be known. And if you're in any meetings with me, you know I'm the kind of person I don't like where I probably will not ask you, do you have any comments, anything in my meeting? Because I believe we've talked about everything. I don't particularly enjoy it when a meeting has gone on for so long. And then kick me somebody to this, I have this something to say. Or there's the general question of, hey, do you have any contributions, any this? And somebody comes up and says something, and then we're like,
Again, start all over again.
Somebody asked like 3 questions ago, or you are just now all of us know you are just asking the question or saying this because you want your name to appear in the manifest. Somebody said this and so. So I feel like I think there's a way to do it that comes off as being brash, but there's also a way to do it that comes off as being sensible. I was stuck by saying, I had the boss that once spoke to me directly. He was coming out of his office. I was outside. I was supposed to come and see him for something. So as I was going to his office, he was leaving. And I was like, what do you want to see me for? I said, I tried there to see you. I've been trying to get across. He said, you this quiet boy. In this company, they talk. If you don't talk, nobody will know you. And that was me at the time. I was okay with, I'm going to come in. I'll do my best job. I'll let appraisal and everything decide everybody's fate. That one engagement with him made me rethink that entire process. I'm like, what do you mean by this company to talk? If you don't talk, see, if you don't talk, nobody will hear you. And I wasn't doing terrible job. I was doing interesting job. But then make sure this man did not see me for the work I was doing. Whereas I had the colleague at the time, I don't want to mention his name, who was also quite good at the job, but he was very, very forward, very, very now he does good work, he's competent on his job, but he also had that bit of being able to voice out and speak at certain times that I did not have at that time. And yes, I can say for a fact he did go far in country more than I did.
Thank you very much. That was quite an insightful part to this conversation. So I would ask now, quiet people, you see them as mysterious. Like, when a person is quiet, I feel like you would still notice them and you will still notice their work. Will their work speak or not? And when you're trying to get noticed, are you trying to get noticed by, say, your line manager or your overall boss? What do you think?
So I think that in the workspace, your speaking up shouldn't be that you want something in return. You understand? And also being quiet doesn't mean that you know something. It can also be lack of knowledge. That's why you're keeping quiet. There's a difference. Yes, it's not every time that you see someone, you say this person is quiet, that this person actually has something to say. And sometimes people are quiet because they don't have anything to say. Yes, they don't have anything, and that is the truth. So if you keep forcing them to say there is nothing because there's nothing in the head to say, they are just quiet. There are some people that by their nature, they cannot lead. Somebody must lead them. Do you understand? Even if they are, that's just their nature. You can't force it out of it. So, you must get noticed. And this kind of people, sometimes they are the ones that get very bitter towards people who are outspoken. So, for example, you see a line manager in a department whenever they're doing stand-up or maybe a pep talk in department, and they already have noticed, for example, Mr. Lagbaja that always talks, always contributes, whether he's saying nonsense or not, but he always talks and contributes. And Mr. Lagbaja's name has stick in the HOD's head. And the HOD, whenever he's making an example, he's always using, for example, Mr. Lagbaja, for example, Mr. Lagbaja. Now, what you get is, this HOD likes Mr. Lagbaja more than me. But that's not the case. Do you understand? Mr. Lagbaja is the only person that talks and all that. And when he wants to make an example, by default, that's what comes to his head. So I don't think that, in summary, I don't think that when you want to get noticed, you should, it depends. Some people want to just get noticed. But if you are making noise because you just want to get noticed, it's like fame. It's just temporary. If your goal is just to get noticed, it's like fame, temporary. But if you now add, you want to get noticed at something, just like Mr. Andrew said, this person is good at, he said the person was good at maybe something and all that. Summaries and emails. Do you understand? The person is not a talkative. Do you understand? But the person has used that particular thing that he knows how to do, the writing of something. Maybe he just volunteered or she just volunteered. Because, and another thing again is the fact that you see quiet people sometimes. There's another way for you to be quiet and also get noticed, because when you are working in a group of persons and everybody is to do something, there's a likelihood that a lot of people will not want to do it. So that is where quiet people come in. They will just take it and just get to do it. And they do it perfectly. You become like a norm and they will start giving it to you. So that everybody knows that this person is like a secretariat for the gathering and all that. So if you want to get noticed it is good for you to get them, because if you're not talking, you won't get noticed. But what the bane of the talking is, what exactly are you talking? You understand? That is more important than the talking, because you will talk to an extent and people will just know you as loud, as noise maker. This one don't come again, it is the talk. This one don't come again, it is. You understand? So Yes, for if you are quiet, let it be that you are quiet because you don't have what to say. But if you are quiet and you know what to say, it is better you speak up so that people can, learn from you, and you also get noticed for what you know. Because by so doing, you're also teaching other people in the workspace what you know. You are sharing knowledge. You are you're also helping leadership. So this is where team not team building. I've forgotten the words to use. Interpersonal, relationship that the company is even trying to. Because if everybody comes to the workplace and they say they want to be quiet, who will talk? So so by so doing, you're also helping leadership. So not just for yourself of what you want to get in return, but you're also helping the work culture, because work culture is not only one person's job, it's everybody. Because we have a lot of these quiet people, they have a way of doing things. I just want to come to my work and just face my work and do. And let me face the camera. More recently, these are HR consultants, workplace people, senior, this is what they do. Sometimes this their podcast and all that. I see them, I see it short clip about that. Is bringing problem to the workplace. And the reason I say this is hear them saying, just come to work, mind your business and go home. At the same time, you still want people to build culture. If everybody come to the office, yes, I- if everybody come to the office, if everybody listen to you, who is doing this, and all that. I say in the workplace, you don't have friends. Come to the work, do your job, and go home. If I come to work and greet Elizabeth, good morning, sit in my workstation, do my job, and go home, and everybody does that, who is going to talk to each other? So maybe when we are saying all that, we should also, because sometimes when we say these words, I know that that's not what they mean. But the person who is consuming that information you are not available to explain that it is not black and white like I've said it to. Do you understand? I'm saying that come to work, have boundaries, not that, hey, but the person that is taking, I may understand it because I understand what the person is trying to say is that in the workplace, have boundaries. That does not mean that you can't talk to Elizabeth, you can't talk to Andrew. But some other junior staff or some persons that are leaving university and coming into the workplace may see that clip and they may interpret it to mean that, oh, when you come to the workplace, carry your bag. Come to some people when they just go, they just say good morning, good morning. Are you not smiling? Because they've seen one video online that says, come to work, mind your business, and go home.
Nobody's your friend.
Yes, so that's why I'm looking at the camera, that sometimes these videos that you people see, they are not cast in stones. Try as much as you can to look at the interpretation, because whether you like it or not, these videos are the ones that this interpersonal relationship in the workplace are what builds what culture. So if you want the work culture to be interactive, it starts from you to talk to people. Do you understand? The work culture is toxic. Are you toxic? Are you not toxic? Do you understand? So it all boils down to the introvert and extrovert. Let's find a way to strike a balance. That's my
Thank you very much for that contribution. So, from what you said, you were talking specifically on roles as much as people should speak in the workplace. Speaking and not speaking sometimes depends on the kind of roles that you're doing. For instance, maybe a video editor may not have to do a lot of speaking for them to notice him or her, right? So, but what would you advise? Are you saying that we should strike a balance? Is there space for introverts, or should introverts learn to, strike a balance with who they are in the workspace so that they can fit in? Like she said, if everybody comes to the office and sits down, who is going to talk to who? Everybody comes. For instance, just picture someone walking to the office with their headset and then they just say, hello, good morning, hi, hello. And then they sit to their system and they start working. Especially for developers. I'm not even going to, I'm not trying to, throw shades now, but developers, a lot of people I know, they just come in with their headset, hi, what's up? And then they sit down and they're already coding. They're checking one back end. So are we saying are we saying that their person, they should make some adjustment? What do you say to that?
Yeah, I think they would have to make some adjustment. Like, for what you said, I'm laughing because that scenario you painted is basically me. I come into the office every day with my headphones. I have a fever hair. Who's it by headphones on?
otherwise last week I was talking to him
come in and do hi, I can say hi everyone. Go to the staircase. One, we don't get to see you from that.
At all.
Like,
I didn't even know that you come to work.
hi Amu, hi Rose. And then go to my office. So when you mentioned that, I'm like, okay.
So I was not actually.
Yeah. So for me, I could do all of that and still move around at some point. And no one person is an island of knowledge. You are ready to come to work. It's not just because you are an exceptional talent. There are other exceptional talents in the workspace too. And one thing that I will say across board is almost every company will tell you teamwork, collaboration in the values. I think it's one of the most, like, you get to see it in almost every company's value. Two things that I always see: excellence, teamwork. Everybody wants somebody that has an excellence spirit or excellence in delivering their output, and then collaboration, teamwork. There's no one thing that is just one person. And also you also understand the fact that there's always cause collaboration. You made the mention of a video editor. I would expect a video editor to be quite outspoken because you want to do content with head of sales. It's probably thinking numbers that time that you come to ask him to do it. Right? If you take conversations to convince that kind of a person, even if you've told somebody, man, by next week Wednesday we are shooting da 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 da. What if before next week Wednesday I have one huge task on my desk? MB can just send me one now. And all your content ideas that you told me about, I remember them, but I am not just in the yes. And funny enough, you could still come have a conversation with that person and be like, you know what, let me quickly give you this 30 minutes, right? So you cannot just say, you can do introverts in your house, no problem. Do introverts with your family member. I think that's okay. But if you're going to come to the workspace,
You need to speak.
you definitely do have to. You can maintain, see, I think you can be an introvert and be silent and still give impact at the workspace such that people will still notice what you do. If you do very, very wonderful, I think there was a time about going through one time, I told him this picture is not like the pictures that we have on our social media. And we don't know who did that one. But I'm like, I've seen quite a number of stuff, very, very sharp, but this particular one is not sharp. It means it's not the same person that has been doing it, that I've been doing that one. I don't even have to know who has been doing that, but I know what quality of work that comes from that person. So there are a lot of ways where you can show up and show out in the workplace. It doesn't necessarily have to be noise making. It doesn't have to be intrusive. Because of course, you can say you are being collaborative and you are being outspoken and you are stressing people. Sometimes people can be saying some things and I'll be like, who is that person? And for them, they're having a good time. But my own knowledge, I'm like, I don't know how excited you are. You're disturbing me. I've had to hear somebody like, you just enter and just start saying things to me. You're trying to, I'm like, I'm in a call, I'm in a meeting, I'm presenting something, just enter and start saying, and Oga said, I'm like, yes, Oga said so, but calm down. Tell me what Oga said, but enter first and look at the mood of the office that you are in before you go all outspoken as the case may be. So just to put all of that in context here, I do really, really believe that even as a introvert, as a soft-spoken person, gentle person, I don't talk much, I don't go out much, I don't want to blah, 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 I'm going to come in with my headphones and do I think there are still times when you would have to meet and mix up with people, interact with people. Even if it is during lunch break, go downstairs. You don't even give lot at your desk. Carry your flask. Go downstairs to the kitchen area, have conversation, talk with people. And it's in talking with people and I found out that past styling was going to end soon. I don't know. You know, if I'm talking to people, I don't know. But that not, my mind is not in that place. But yeah, it's too commercial with people like, they're going to, it's going to end. My just for design. Yesterday. I was like, what do you mean? Sometimes, yeah, next thing I'm doing is there's 100K, penalty, there's 50-50K. I'm like, because I know feel something, but you don't like it. If I've not had that conversation, that's how I'm going to make sure. So you need to have these conversations. You not just because it improves your stance in the workplace. I'm a big believer in the fact that you can meet friends in the workplace because the fact that our colleagues or someone who cannot strike us are great. So the best friends I have today, I make them. This is where I've been working. I'm able to grow together. So yeah, I think as an introvert, as a stay inside somebody, when you come to the workplace, I think that's like really the best place for you to try and mingle. All of us came here with one mission. We came to do our best job and get the company to the next stage. since we all have that same mission, why can't we have some kind of communications in between us to ensure that we're headed the right place?
Thank you very much. That was very insightful. Most of what you people said towards the end, you were going into our next episode. You touched on friendship in the workspace. I will dig too. And that is going to be our next episode. So I will not say too much on that. But today, I'm sure we had a great time. So our take home from this episode is that we strike a balance. Yes, you can be an introvert, but when you come to the workspace, you need to talk to people and you don't have to be loud anyway. So, and depending on your role, yes, your work and speak, you can also speak too. Till we see you in our next episode or till we come your way again. Bye bye.
Bye.